Yes. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all doing well. Having a great end of the week. I think this week's really progressed along really well. I've enjoyed the mindset and the approach of the guys the last couple of days. Yesterday was, great progression. In our preparation, I thought our guys' mindset was where it needed to be. Continuing to clean up a lot of the details. Today was a traditional Friday for us, so got some great work continuing to put the game plan together. We try to approach this week as if it was game week, and going through a lot of the details of what that's going to look like, especially being year one. Just want guys to have a great confidence in how we prepare. We had a pretty good conditioning session. After practice this morning to try to get try to log the proper amount of yardage pertaining to what we need, as if this was a game week. I think our guys, their legs are definitely coming back from camp, looking fast. You could tell that the workload and the push that we've had. You guys are gaining confidence in what they can do, and I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to continue to get past is just sometimes kids put limits on what they think they can accomplish in the way that they work and the detail, the discipline. Something that we're pushing on every day. I really like the way our guys are responding to that, and today was a good step in the right direction. Tomorrow we're going to have a mock game, which will be we'll go through. I think it's probably 40 or 50 different situations. We're going to go through a complete pregame, kind of routine. We've introduced it a little bit in our couple of scrimmages. We want guys to know exactly where they're going, what it's going to look like, to be as sharp, as efficient as possible. We talked through every scenario that could come up. We've been through a lightning plan. If there's a delay in the game, we're trying to just check off all the boxes of things that we might see, so that we can be prepared to respond in any situation. So it's all a learning experience, and I think our guys are handling it well.
Hey, Coach, will the mock game, will it also involve like doing things against the scout team, or is it just all the procedural type stuff?
No, it will. I mean, we're going to, like I said, we'll have probably about 50 different situations that we're going to run through. There'll be some series against the scouts, offense, defense, while special teams plays. Just different, basically every possible game type situation that could show up. We're gonna hit, and it's something I've done throughout my coaching career. There's some things that we do in this mock game that I've yet to ever experience in a real game, but we want to make sure that we have that situation covered, so guys have at least some confidence in what the play or what the thought or what our reaction is going to be to regardless of where we find ourselves in a game.
And Mike, I was wondering if there's any clarity to DJ Mathews' status. Is he returned to the team, and if not, is he expected to return for this season?
He is not, and I haven't talked to DJ in a little while, and so I know he's working through that process.
Hey, Mike, obviously COVID and all that has caused some rule changes this year. One of them is you only get one kind of team captain for coin tosses and all. Have you figured out who that's going to be? And I guess what's your process for determining that?
That's a great question. One of the things that I believe is that we're going to do game captains. Each week, the way the guys work, prepare. Obviously what they're putting into the program, and each and every day, in all situations. And each game we'll have game captains. And then at the end of the year, is when we're going to basically honor the year captains. And it's just something that, even as a player, I always thought that, our guys know who the leaders are on the team. And the leaders have a tremendous responsibility, to show up each and every day and go out to work at an elite level and make sure their actions are living up to the responsibility that they have. But, I've been a part, even when I was, as a player, where sometimes you would elect a captain at the beginning of the year, and something didn't go, their way. I mean, maybe their response wasn't what a captain's should be. And so I think being a captain is a tremendous honor. I think it is one of the most important things that you can do. But being a real captain is somebody that can, from start to finish, living to that standard. And we might have guys that are captains every single week, but that might change as well. And I think of this past season when I was at Memphis, a great example was Antonio Gibson. And ended up getting drafted really high, but really he right going into the season, I don't know if anybody really classified him as a captain, but as he grew and worked, I mean, he earned it every week, and that was something that just was a great example of why I do the game captains, because there might be an emerging leader that comes on throughout the season and earns that position by their response to everything that they see in their continued growth. So I don't do it before the year, but to answer your question, yes, we will have game captains each and every week.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned that obviously things are a little bit different with COVID. In that regard, with the testing being on Friday of each game week, will that change how you distribute reps during the week of practice? Generally it's the first and second teamers that get a lot of the game type situation reps. Will you go deeper with the roster in that?
Well, we're going to test 3 times a week, and so it's we've got it set that that's going to be a part of hopefully having a better sense of who's going to be available. But throughout my coaching career, I've always repped. Our twos get a lot of reps. I'm not a coach I'm not one of the coaches that say, just leave the ones out there and the twos better prepare and be ready mentally. And that's not real. I want the actual repetition for those guys, the development. I think that continues to spur the competition, and we want to be able to play fast. We want to be able to roll guys in the game, and so we're going to prepare them to be game ready. And so I've really throughout my coaching career, I've always, as a kind of been a part of my philosophy, is to make sure you get guys that have an opportunity to go in and impact the game, and they get reps throughout the week, and you're continuing to develop the guys. That's something that we'll do on Sunday nights after games. Guys that maybe don't play as many snaps as we want them to, we're going to get a little extended work period for them. And guys that traditionally would be redshirting, I want them to get a sense of their development and the importance that is for our program. And obviously this year with no redshirt, everybody's getting a year back. That's going to also open up some opportunities for guys as the season goes and as they develop throughout the year.
You guys were out on the field when it came out, so I don't know if you've even seen it, but the preseason ACC poll came out and Florida State was picked 7th. Do you discuss those types of things with your team? Is either as a motivational tactic or not, or is it something you just let them deal with however they want to?
It's one of those things that we don't really have any control over. And so, our message to our guys: control what you can control. And I've been a part of programs that have been picked to the top of the league. I've been times that in early years that you pick, towards the bottom of the league. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is what you put on the field. Each game and each opportunity that you get. So, I did not know that. But that's not something I'm going to really use as motivation, because it doesn't really matter. I mean, go out there, play your best ball, continue to get better, continue to improve, and like I said many times, I just told the team this: I'm not putting limitations on what this team can accomplish. I'm dang proud to coach this team, and we're pushing them extremely hard each and every day. And we're building that mindset, we're building that response, and we're excited about the opportunity.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious with the backup quarterback, is Tate Rodemaker your number 2? And do you have a plan for how you want to use him against Georgia Tech?
It's been good. We've had Jordan back out here this last week. I mean, he's been out and rolling, and so those guys have been supporting a lot of the reps there. I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing from Tate. I'm very, very excited about his development and growth. Jordan has looked really good this week, coming getting back into action, and So, to say that there's defined two, I mean, we don't have that yet. But, like I said, we're excited about the plan that we're putting together and the opportunity to be able to showcase all guys' skills and talents, and we'll see what goes from there.
Mike, I'm curious your thoughts on versatility for players, whether it's a guy who can play a couple sides of position on one side of the ball, or who played both sides or played offense and defense in high school. Is that something that you value typically in a recruiting class? And is that trait even more valuable this year in kind of the COVID era where things can kind of change from week to week?
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that's, I love it in recruiting because, one, it also shows guys that, have that competitive drive and the ability to be out there throughout the course of the high school game the entire time. And you see the effort of which they play with, obviously the versatility of skills. I mean, it provides a lot of wonderful things for us, in all aspects. In special teams, that can show up. I mean, you'll see some of our defensive players that might have an opportunity to be returners or chances to get the ball in their hands to make an impact. There'll be times throughout the year that you're going to see defensive players line up on the offensive side of the ball, and if it's ever of value, I'm not opposed to putting an offensive guy on the defense side of the ball. We used to have we've had guys that were great pass rushers that maybe played running back or tight end or different things like that in high school that we've looked at third down packages in the past in my coaching career. So we want to showcase all the skills and talents that our guys have, and we'll be prepared to do that if need be here moving forward.
Hey, Coach. Sorry if this has been asked recently, but I maybe I missed it. But the place kicking situation in terms of field goals, extra points, kickoffs, how is that shaking out for you right now?
It's going well. We've had a really good competition. I like what I'm seeing with our guys and the way their mindset and their approach is. Each and every day, it's that's a competition that you never want. Obviously, you want the consistency in work and what they're doing, but you never want somebody to be relaxed in it. And you want competitive reps and everything. And the great thing is, you take kickoff, you take punt, you take place kicking opportunities, snapping situations. All of those, we're grading everything that these guys are doing throughout the course of practice. We're putting them in challenging, game-winning situations with all eyes on them within the team and seeing how they respond. But I like what I'm seeing, but I'm not. That'll probably be towards the end of the week before I make a final decision on what that's going to the final group's going to be.
Hey, Coach, I was wondering, are you a traditionalist or a guy who likes to let your players pick when it comes to uniform combinations for games? Just kind of where do you stand on doing that? I don't know what you did at Memphis versus what you might do here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have one of the great uniform combinations and traditions, in all of college football. But I think that as we move forward, you could see some different combinations. But at the end of the day, I love our uniform combinations. Obviously, I'm excited about the white numbers. Being back as many people are. But it's something we'll always evaluate and make sure that that our uniform is celebrated as one of the greatest in all of college football, and we want to represent our wonderful tradition, but you also like to be kind of on the cutting edge in some aspects of what we're doing. It's great in recruiting, it's great in for these kids, as they're coming through. So probably a little bit of both to answer the question.
Hey, Coach, this seems like the longest offseason in the history of football. Given all that's surrounded the college game since March, have you ever been looking more forward to the start of a season than this one?
Oh, definitely excited about it, and I've looked forward to every practice. I can promise you that. That's been one of the things with missing spring ball, with coming in as a new staff. I mean, every day has been so critical in our development, and we know what's coming on the 12th, and you were excited about the opportunity to play a game. The thing that I've probably been most pleased with is that even with an extended period of learning and development and so many new expectations, I mean, our guys have really kept a mindset of work and focus. And, sometimes that you can get, I think maybe mentioned this the other day, you get 20 plus practices in, and it starts to drag a little bit. And I mean, I really haven't seen that with our guys. I mean, they're pushing. They know how important every day is. They're not always feeling great, but they are pushing, and they're developing that mindset and that response. We're going to take every practice leading up to the 12th. I can promise you, we get the opportunity to run out of that tunnel, and we're going to go put our best foot forward. And I know there's a lot of excitement about